Hello to a very rainy day Patreon Q&A. Right here is the one and only Ruby, 1 years old. Say hi, Ruby. Ruby, say hi. Cheese doesn't want to. But let's go through your questions and give out some answers. First one. What is your favorite proverb? When I was a kid, I was really big into this book called Words of Thumb, which were sort of colloquial wisdom that people had garnered over the years. And one of my favorite ones was, if you don't know what you want, it's probably sleep. Describe your love of Transformers. Well, Transformers, like a lot of 80s kids, was a big deal. I remember listening to the voice of the narrator who sounded like the sexy, cool guy. It was like, we now return to the Transformers. And he sounded like he smoked like 20 packs of cigarettes a day. And then the whole power struggle between the good and the bad. And the most important part was that you could buy these robots and they would change into different sort of humanoid type things. And you could buy multiple sets that would construct into a larger thing. And for the kid in me who liked creating things, that was very cool. And then, of course, I watched the Transformers movie in the theaters with my friends at a birthday party, and I bawled my eyes out at a certain part in the movie, which I will not spoil, even though it is 30 plus years old. If you could come back as an animal in your next life, what would it be? Well, not Ruby. Ruby gets it good, though. She really does. This is her probably fifth cuddle she's had today, like this. I would come back as a polar bear. I would come back just being able to live in the cold and feel nice and warm and toasty in the cold, and then to be able to sleep for months and months on end undisturbed just sounds great. What is an odd project that you're working on right now? For me, it is hypnosis. I'm looking through some old hypnosis books that I've had and trying to work on induction techniques for myself to help with sleeping, to help with other stumbling blocks I've had them right now for me. What's your favorite childhood story? I was a very squirmy kid. I was one to run around, jump up, and fall on things, and my parents would search high and low for me sometimes. One time, in the laundry room, my mom was putting together the clothes, and she lost me. And looked around, and she started to do the laundry while looking for me, and she found me inside the dryer underneath a bunch of clothes, just happy going and such. But she loved to tell me that story about how she almost put me and turned me on in the dryer. Now, another favorite childhood story of mine, which is one of my favorites, was in kindergarten. After school, me and some other kids, just apropos of nothing, decided to clean up the playground. Picked up some garbage, picked up some leaves, and we got rewarded for it by the teacher, and we felt so good and so inspired afterwards, and we continued to clean up. And I distinctly remember there was this wind that picked me up, not like pushed me up against a wall, but lifted my like 6-year-old body and lifted it up just a tiny bit and set me down. And that was the beginning for a while of me being extremely religious and believing that there was a divine force that, for just a tiny moment, wanted to say hi. My question is for you. What are you going to do the rest of this summer? Think big. Think fun. And second, what is your favorite board game? Alright, guys. I love you. Talk to you next week.